Liverpool can use Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham transfer inspiration with future academy stars. Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham both made moves abroad to get regular, senior game time. But whether in the UK or further afield, Liverpool's own young starlets can take inspiration. For the likes of Nat Phillips and Rhys Williams, this year was never supposed to pan out as it did. Such was the impact of Liverpool's injury crisis before the turn of the year, where Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip were put out of action for the campaign. Jurgen Klopp had few options when trying to keep his team on course for a Champions League place once it became apparent that the sticking plaster solution of Fabinho and Jordan Henderson may solve the defensive crisis. But created problems of its own in central midfield even more detrimental to success. Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak arrived late in the January window, with Davies yet to be seen in a Liverpool shirt while Kabak, after finding his feet and putting in some assured performances, was never likely to be the long-term answer for Klopp with a deal for Ibrahima Konate bubbling away in the background and Van Dijk, Gomez and Matip all to return. For the crucial run-in, it was left to the Bolton Buesi Phillips and Williams, a player who had been on loan in the sixth tier of English football, to plug the gap. While they may not be the centre-back pairing that Klopp would be seeking to rely on for a Premier League and Champions League title next season. Their contributions were enormous and played a crucial role in hauling Liverpool over the line to finish third, something that seemed unthinkable after a wretched January. At 24, Phillips is old enough to be expecting more in the way of first-team football next season. Something that will likely be in short supply should the Reds return to full fitness in the defensive ranks. But his performances this season, where he had far more game time and responsibility than he could have ever imagined, have seen him prove himself as a competent and capable Premier League defender, something that has already seen clubs clamoring to bring him on board. Something like a Newcastle United or Crystal Palace move may well prove a lure for Phillips, and he would go with nothing but praise and plenty of gratitude. But, like Williams, it wasn't just his spell this season. His time away on loan last season at German side VfB Stuttgart helped position him as someone who could step in and make a valuable contribution. Phillips played 22 times for Stuttgart last term in all competitions, the Bundesliga. 2, German football's second tier, helping them secure promotion to the Bundesliga. Game time week in, week out, in matches that have something real riding on it where the stands. A full and there is expectation on your shoulders can be character-forming stuff. When you take yourself out of the English football bubble and into a different country, challenging yourself personally and professionally. That is when real magic can happen. You only have to look at the likes of Jude Bellingham and Jadon Sancho to see that. For Williams, the step up was far greater. At 20, Williams still has time on his side at Anfield, and this season gave him the kind of grounding that he could only have dreamed of. Williams played 26 National League North games for Kidderminster Harriers during the 2019-20 season. He went from playing the likes of Blyth Spartans, Farsley Celtic and Curzon Ashton to facing off with the best that the Premier League has to offer. But to dismiss his loan spell at Kidderminster as not having played a significant role would be disrespectful. As someone who has watched more games at that level than I care to remember, loan spells for young players can make or break them. It is a million miles away from the cozy nature of academy football. Where the pressure is only on you to succeed for your own personal gain and not have the hopes of others in your hands. It is also about who you face. When I covered Chester FC for the Chester Chronicle, there was a brief spell for Ollie McBurney on loan at the Davis Stadium from Bradford City. His Bantam's career was stalling a bit even though he was only 18 and he needed games to realise his potential. He was a huge success and was technically streets ahead. When I spoke to him last summer while at Sheffield United, he was a fully fledged Premier League player. We talked on his loan spell and he opined that it was his Chester spell that gave him what he needed. He said, "I remember those games. I think it was Darren Pearce playing at Welling, a centre-half WHOD played in the Football League for years. Some of the stuff he was doing I was like, are you even allowed to do this in football? What is this sport that I'm playing here?" It toughened me up and I picked up little tips on how not to get in tussles with those big players and how to find ways not to fight these big players who were physically stronger than me. That was the National League, and the National League North is even more of a physical battle. The pitches are heavy, you can hear every word of what the fans think about you, and it is one hell of a dogfight at times. In terms of his technical ability, Williams wouldn't have lasted so long at Liverpool had he not the required attributes. At ISNT Football Summer Camp, it is a rigorous process where you are constantly scrutinized and chasing the same dream that all of your teammates are. And you can't all make it. Toughening up is something that is achieved through learned experience. In many cases the strikers Williams would have faced on Saturdays for Kidderminster would have come up the same way as him. Through academies, before being cut adrift at 17 and 18 and forced to try and establish themselves somewhere on the ladder. They aren't Sunday League cloggers and they haven't got the dog and duck and nag's head on their playing CV. They are real players who can really play. Many have fallen through the cracks of the game. For Williams, it was an experience that he would have learned more from than any season spent in academy football, and one that set him up to be able to deal with some of the tricks of the trade that are employed, and to be able to compete with senior players, and dominate. Those two success stories of Loney's point to it still having huge value to Liverpool moving forward. Not only has their ability to compete been aided, but it has also added to their value in the market, and their chances of a better move. That would have been the case if they had simply been playing Premier League 2 games in front of coaches and scouts on the lush grass of a training ground somewhere. For the next crop who need the grounding, the likes of Neco Williams, Mateusz Musilowski and Billy Cometio. Finding the right loans at the right time is a crucial part of the development. Players can only improve if they are given the opportunities to do so. In Harvey Elliott's case, the Reds will be hoping that his spell at Blackburn Rovers provided him with what he needed and gave him the platform to develop beyond what would be possible at Kirkby. In order to maintain that steady stream of talent that can make the grade at Anfield, loan spells remain crucial. It will be interesting to see how many take the chance to follow Phillips, Sancho and Bellingham, and take the route abroad.